So the purpose of life is to be at one with the source of life, which is never ending. Once I know life doesn't end and my life is not separate from that, then لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. It goes. Whatever it came, it's not my business. My business was to be in total obsessive adoration. And occasionally I'm given a little bit of a respite of a bit of a distraction, enjoyable distraction. Plow the field, cut the flowers, do this, open the thing, make a fire. How wonderful. Because especially earlier on, for people who begin to realize accepting the truth that they are not who they think they are is too heavy. So they quickly go to sleep. I'm sure you notice it when the people come to you. After a little while, they want to rest, they want to sleep. Yes. It's too much, you see. So they go to sleep. Come back after a week. It is because the neuron connectedness has taken its own trend, its own shape, its own permutation. So now you're suddenly trying to show that no, all of that was fine for where you were as a 5-year-old, not now. So it's too much. So they need to rest for them to do housekeeping in a nervous sense, in a neuron sense, to reorder it. And then slowly by slowly, that's the order. The order is perfect, it's absolute. It comes down to the relative, and they're all connected. Now I have to be also mentally, with my mindset, connected to the fact of it, to the truth of it. One of the biggest things of the Chinese system of Confucian and which is Sharia, and the Tao, which is Haqiqah, is that any fact has in it trace of truth. It's an incredible teaching. Any fact, anything that touches you, has in it a spark of truth. And for you to relate it to truth, you have done something very worthwhile. So there is one purpose only, to go to the source, which is beyond cause and effect, beyond purpose or no purpose, beyond anything to do with space or time. And that source, that spark, is in every living entity in slightly different density, intensity, or configuration. So the ant has a life. It's not the same as the rabbit. It's not the same as a horse. It's not the same as a monkey. It's not the same as a human being. It is only the human being, which maybe 100, 200,000 years ago was the right time for it to be reflecting of reflectiveness or reflectiveness. Light upon light upon light upon light, like two mirrors facing each other, ad infinitum. So with deep reflectiveness and quietude, you find all of it is ever connected in the zone of what we call, if you like, the quantum field. And so I am living between the two zones. That is ummatan wasata, middle people, as the Buddhists also teach all the time. Middle people between space and time, all the time, beginning and end, night and day, every day, every moment, sun. And there are thousands of ways I'm reminded of it. The cycles in that zone, and yet there is another zone that is not within space and time, and it has a perfection that does not even enter the definition of my perfection. It is the divine zone. It is the pure consciousness zone. It is the sacred zone. And this tiny zone of space and time is completely dependent on that. It's like the one drop of water gives the quality of the ocean. So it is the same. These are all metaphors. Physics, chemistry, biology, they're all metaphors to show that we are earthly, heavenly, celestial, terrestrial. So, and all of the other metaphors we have in the sacred books are that. Because if you are designed, if your consciousness, if human consciousness is نفخت فيه من روحي, is touched by the infinite, and if there is this intermediate stage of intellect or reason or mind that connects the earthly limitations with the heavenly limitlessness, then you need to be given first the pattern that you want the infinite, nothing will be enough. Second, to be given the capacity not to accept the limited, to resent it. You want to get out of it, out of space and time, nothing will be enough. So if these two are put together, then it is us. We are in the zone of limitations, desiring the limitless zone. So that's why people like yourselves and your friends, you need more and more repetitive periods, not just 5 times, constantly touching upon the infinite. You get recharged. It's like trickle charge of the battery. It's no use going once in a while to pilgrimage or hajj, especially what they have made now. I mean, you need to recover after 5 years, but you need that trickle charge of the infinite. So you deal with the finite and you put up with it. So your child, your brother, whoever cries, says, yes, I'll do the same thing if I were you. But thank God I'm not in the same state that you. I am in touch with another zone that recharges me. All of this is a phantom, fantasy. But it's a good fantasy because it's touched by the divine. So I don't denounce it. I don't denounce the earth. I denounce my stupidity of being attached or falling into the trap of acquisition. I can't acquire anything. I don't know how even my nail come about. I mean, I need 10 lifetimes to find out, to contemplate how this semi-hard material comes from the soft skin underneath. And there are a million of other issues. So the whole issue is that think, reflect, and slip into another zone beyond thinking, beyond the mind. Don't denounce the mind. Be weary of using the mind in every situation. You can't. That's why emotions, feelings, love, higher, stop the mind. Leave it aside. اخلعنا عليك. Take off your sandals when you enter the valley of truth or reality. So no denouncing, it is appropriateness. If the mind is all active, you cannot rest, you cannot sleep. And if you can't sleep, then you can't. It's perfect timing. No, it's good, because I can now stoke the fire, you see. That's what it tells me.